Hello and welcome to the I Am Symposium Winter Solstice Fire Tenders Gathering, which is now in its 12th year. And one of the things that makes this particular symposium so special is it's kind of a gathering of my friends, my students, and the people, the collective in the Wind Clan. The community makes this group so special because people tend to their fires, they hold their altars, they do their work. And every year when I invite my friends that I've met, like Jorge Luis Delgado from Peru, they like to participate in this because this one has the heart. This one has the heart, and so it goes on. That's why it's in its 12th year. So I want to welcome my friend from Peru, Jorge Luis, and he's going to tell you a little bit about himself and the practice he decided to talk about today, because they're in their summer solstice as we come into our winter solstice. And in the compass and in the wind tradition that I practice, the north and the south are always in polar opposites. And what the work is always to find that balance, that harmony between, what is dark and what is light in ourselves and in the world. So he's going to tell you his perspective on this subject. So welcome, Jorge.
Thank you very much. Yes, we are always where the heart is. For our tradition, there is not 100% opposite. Everything is complementary. So we need always to balance and to get the message, to get the gift that clarifies the weakness. In our tradition, this is a very unique. Some of the chronicles from the Spanish arrived to our continent, they used to say, this celebration, the 21st of December, was one of the most powerful, one of the massive ceremonies in all the Andean world, because it has to do with the celebration of the Capac Raimi. For some people, Capac is masculine, but Capac is in reality the power. Remember, the first Inca's name is Mariku Capac, and Capac is the power. The power, the real power that is light. So it is the celebration of your own light. But you celebrate your own light when you really face some of the heavy energies, some hucha around. So we can start a new cycle under that presence, the light that illuminates our path. Children of the sun is the definition for most of the Andean cultures. And we believe that everybody has an amazing power. And this Capac, this power, has to do with many of the qualities that it comes from the Father Sun, but it's in every children of the sun. These gifts are for us love, service, and wisdom. So we believe that in this new cycle, we are celebrating the Capac lineage. At Lake Titicaca, in the Aymara tradition, we are so connected with that lineage. In many communities or nations, sometimes there is lineages of families with some specific names. In the high plateau around Lake Titicaca, we believe that the main lineage, everybody is connected with the lineage of the Capacuna. The Capacuna are the people of power, the one who walk by the ley line that we call Capacñan. The Capacñan is the pathway of the mastery. Capacñan is the pathway of the light. The Capacñan is the ley line that connects the different places. There is a perfect line, connecting Monte Tunupa, Tiwanaku, Pucara, Cusco, Ollantaytambo goes by Urubamba, and then Cajamarca, Mexico, Mount Shasta. This ley line is a vital line. It's also called the line of the truth. So we call it chacaruna. If we put one line in a vertical line to this diagonal, we will have an angle here of 23.5. What does it mean for you, 23.5? So important. 23.5 is the inclination, the axis of the Mother Earth when she is dancing with the Father Sun. That is what makes the seasons. So what's the truth? Life is the truth. Because this dance in the frequencies, how it's done, in the way how the mother takes us to the sun, we are experiencing different impacts of the quality of the light. So it's so interesting to see that this ley line, it is designed, it's carved on the stones in many places. But if we fly over Peru, Bolivia, and Mexico, and Mount Shasta, we will see the perfect line, the line of the truth. Also, we call Kapahnyang. So the line of the power. In the world, we have so many ley lines. Like just few months ago, we've been walking by the ley line of the Archangel Michael, they call in Europe, in France, Mont Saint Michel, the Sacra San Miguel, El Monte Sacro, Puglia, the different points, perfect lines. So the Kapahnyang, it is connected with the 21st of December because there is a perfect alignment between the Milky Way and the sacred river that we call Urubamba. The Urubamba River we call Wilcamayo. Wilca is sacred, is divine, is the sun, is the light. Mayu is the river of light, this sacred river. And in this reality, what we call Urubamba River also has the name of Wilcamayo. Okay, so it's so beautiful to see between November, that's the zenith in November, until February 2nd, more or less, the river is perfectly aligned with the Milky Way. The Milky Way and the sacred river, they are making the Muyo life moving in circle, connecting this reality with the upper world. So the kappa, the light in this period of time is so important to begin a new cycle. So interesting that the 21st of June, one of the elders told me once, I think like 45 years ago, it seems to be yesterday, but it's already 45 to 47 years ago that one of the elders told me, can you imagine? We staying overnight at the Sun Gate, the 20th of December, waiting the Father Sun, I was thinking. And he says, no, connecting with the Father Sun. We go to the encounter of the Father Sun. I didn't realize until then, this important picture. Most of the time, we believe the sun comes to us. Before the sunrise, we are saying, oh, we are waiting the Father Sun. When in reality, is the Mother Earth who takes our hands and takes us to the sun. So that's a very interesting point of view. in our relation with the Father Son. And very important message that our lives is a training to return to the Son. Okay, but the 20th of December in the Sun Gate, expecting the right moment to be infused by that light, that first light that touches, and we go into the sacred city of Machu Picchu as a ray of the sun. So can you imagine that? You are walking together with the Father Son from the Sun Gate, where it starts the sun that day. We start walking into the sacred city and coming as love, as wise, as ray in service to life. So, what is our awareness about this ray of light that each of us we are? It's really our power. It is really our strength. Of course, everybody, we go through different situations in our process of awakening. I haven't met yet somebody who said, I never had any issues, any situation. I never had any heavy energy to face. Everybody who is in the spiritual path, expanding consciousness one way or other, we had to experience something that awakens, something that we made an agreement how to experience life. So today, in this special month of December, remembering this inner sun presence, which is the real power. At Lake Titicaca, we have a beautiful portal. That portal is called Wilcauta. Our friends from History Channel, Ancient Aliens, they start to call Ahayu Marca. Okay, because I told them Ahayu Marca is the area, but this word I printed, we can say, I created in a way, because Ahayu is the soul, Marca is the city, the village, the city of the spirits. Because in so many places there is different rock formations and with the shapes of animals, power animals, different ahayus. Ahayus, the souls, are anchored in these beautiful lands. So instead to put Wilka Uta, the house of the sun, the house of the light, the house of divinity, the house of sacredness, they made a mistake. They put Ahayu Maracas, the portal of gods. In reality, Wilcauta supposed to be the portal of God. Just a few days ago, we made some recordings, some interviews with the team of History Channel. There is new episodes coming talking about the portal and many other interesting things. But what is interesting is that Wilcauta, the house of divinity, the house of the sun, the house in the 2011, with many elders like Don Jose Ruiz, Mexicans, Guatemalan, Chilean, Bolivian, shamans from Peru all over. We've been doing a ceremony, beautiful spirals and offerings at the portal, at the Wilcauta. At that day was when we asked to everybody, where is Wilcauta? Everybody was pointing, oh, the doorway is there. No, the real Wilcauta is in our hearts. The house of the inner sun, the house of divinity, the house of sacredness, where we have the awareness of the divine self. So all the light we can experience always comes by the heart. That's why anything in our lives we can clarify under that light. And anything, any discernment that we bring to our hearts become a great gift, become in wise. I mean, the inner wisdom. It has to do by opening the resistance to be in our hearts. So the 21st of December is a celebration of the inner Wilka Uta. It is the celebration of the inner sun. But this inner sun becomes very, very powerful as we remember every day. As we remember every day that presence in our hearts, we can call ourselves children of the sun. But if we don't remember that, what we remember? We remember what we have to do. So we remember the agenda. So we are children of the agenda. Huh? So we don't want to be the children of the agenda. We want to be the children of the sun, really embody that light. How we get there? By practicing. There is no other way. I mean, we can memorize a beautiful poetry about, what is the light? What's the sun? What is love? Perfect. But if we don't anchor it, if we don't embody it in this reality, through whatever we do, through whatever we have to go through, or wherever we are, it is just intellectual. But if we start to remember, as we awake, when we are awakening, we start to think what I have to do today. The first thought, observe your first thought, and you will see what is your priority. Okay? Until you decide, the first thought has to go to feel that light in your heart, to connect with the inner sun. And when we start to do that, we just want to expand that, and we face the Father Son, and we open our arms, and we surrender to that light, and we close our eye, and we see how the cells of the body has like an explosion. Everything is awakening, like in all nature. When the sun rises, the plants are shining. The flowers are opening the petals. The birds are singing. The baby lamb is dancing. All life celebrates that, remembering what they are. We always used to say, everybody remembers their essence. Potato remembers that it's a potato, and that's the best. And the humans, what we have to remember? We have to remember first priority, the inner sun. We are the light. We are the children of the sun, the children of the light. When we embody that, we will see strongly inside of us, and we can see in everybody else. The humans, we have the tendency to see in the others what we see inside of us. So this is a beautiful practice. But normally, everybody, we do that, not necessarily with the light. We see with other aspects, sometimes with the issues. We see in the others what we have. Of course, we don't think we are carrying or we are that kind of heavy energy. But what is important is to remember that light. That's a way to greet ourselves. It's so important to connect, to reconnect. And we can weave the most beautiful tapestries, the most beautiful way by being aware. We are connected. So we can experience every moment if it's really coming from our hearts. If it is really the wisest decision. or if we are really speaking from the heart, if we are dreaming from the heart, or we are thinking only in the mind or connected with the heart. So then we can experience, wow, we are surrounded by love. All this expression of life is wise. We are interconnected. We are interdependent. Of course, this is the connection with the spirit, with the soul. That is what elevates our frequency. That is what we call the ascension. That connection between our soul and our hearts. So we can remember every day the light in our hearts, opening our arms, surrender to the light. You know something, every day you see the light in different ways because you just have to surrender. You close your eye. If it's very, very early in the morning, like the sunrise moment is not dangerous for the eyes. No? You can just see for a good moment and then close and you see inside. And then as we see that presence, it's not only these colors, pink, golden, blues, beautiful purple colors, and green colors sometimes. It is all that love. So we are exposed to love. And as we bring that love into our lives, we start the day with love without fear. So whatever we share during the day, wherever we are, whatever is our job, comes from the heart. We share it. The right hand, as you know, is to share, to give. Okay. The left is to take. So we can take and we can pull out whatever doesn't belong to us. Okay. So with love, without fear, how we start a new cycle. The cycle of the children of the light, the children of the sun. When is that? Every day. But the 21st of December, like solstices, equinoxes, are portal days where the Father Son opens wider his hands, his arms, and we are blessed to put our intent. You know, the difference between intention and intent. You know, the intention is rational. Okay, it works with the probabilities. The intent doesn't have to be rational. It's like love. It's not rational, isn't it? Huh? It is really when you put in the hands of the Divine Mother whatever you are facing, whatever you want to fix, you want to heal, you want to transform, whatever you need, you have that choice to put on the hands of the great Pachamama, the divine cosmic mother. And it's better than we expect. Always that connection with the great Pachamama always makes our reality more generous than our thoughts. You know, most of the time it's just our thoughts. That's why we always suggest think beautifully. You connect with the Divine Mother. You put your intent. You are blessed. Everybody's blessed. The Mother loves us to everyone. So I remember that great presence in December because this time of the year in the Andes, we are connected with the Mother Earth. The first rains already happened and we start to planting, preparing the land. It's a feminine moment, okay, that has to do with the mother, but it has a strong masculine power. that is also celebrated with the apucunas. In some regions, even in the jungle, the leaders of the communities we call apu, the leader of the apu of the community. Also, this is the time of the year in the Andean world when the communities, they choose their leaders, okay? The Malku is the one who has the big picture. Malku is the condor. Also, we call Malku kuntur, you know? So Malku is the one who can fly. Malku is the one who knows the process. So important, the process. The process has to do with 4 steps, we call the 4 wings of the condor. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, the condor teaches 4 steps. First step, acceptance. Condor is soaring, looking for food, sees the food and goes, where is the food? And doesn't eat immediately. Returns to the skies and from far away sees it again and sees how it's interconnected with other aspects around. Okay? That's the second step, separation. In that moment, as far we go, we have the discernment with the heart. And after the discernment with the heart, it comes the gift, the wisdom. For example, the condor is looking for the food, soaring, arrives, see the food, accept it's there, goes away, and sees next to it there is a cave with some baby pumas, young pumas. Oh, he says, you know, this was brought by the mother puma. So discernment, if I eat now, you know, it's not gonna be so good for the baby pumas, for the young pumas. I better let them eat. So in the future, they will bring more food for us. Because the puma doesn't finish all, okay? Always there is leftovers. And the condors, they transmute, you know, they don't kill, they just eat what is the leftovers, you know, some dead animals. So the discernment with the heart is a key part, because if we have only the discernment with the mind, then we keep victimizing ourselves and we think we are right because it's logical what we are thinking. But with the heart, like with the intent, doesn't have to be rational, you know? So sometimes it's not easy to accept something that's not fair. Okay, we say, okay, I cannot forgive this person. It's not fair, you know? But in reality, the way of forgiving, the way of letting go, the way of the discernment, the way of the heart is unexpected and a great healing. It is the portal that opens the way to release the resistance, to release the blockages to the real children of the light, the children of the sun. And then we can recognize ourselves as a chacaruna. So chacaruna, the being of power. But this power doesn't have to do only with the politics or only with the economy or only with some aspect. It's a state of consciousness that we are blessed, we are abundant, we are wise, we are beautiful people. So the point is how you are keeping every day, remembering every day. That's why in Spanish, saludar, you know, saludar Dar is to give. Salud. Salud is health, good vibrations. So how do you give good vibrations to yourself? Of course, we have in Quechua a practice we call it Sami Chakui. Sami is the refined energy. Sami Chakui is to elevate the frequencies. Everybody nowadays is teaching that, if you want to really manifest something, like Mr. Joe Dispenza, Sedona, when we used to have the gatherings there, he used to say, if you want to get to the quantum field, you need to go through these heavy energies. Well, he will say the negativity or the low frequencies. Thinking in something beautiful. It works, but it's much better when we really do the process to letting go, to forgiving. So it's not going to be only for one moment, it's forever. Okay, it is the freedom, and that's the freedom of the wild, of the sun. Some of the elders in the past, they used to introduce themselves as sun. I would say, Salva Jorge Luis. So I was surprised. Long time ago, some of the elders would say that when I organized some of the Andean healing art conferences. I said, Sal Antonio. I said, oh, nice to meet you. Then why did they say they are wild? The first thought that came to me, wild, maybe it's dangerous, But in reality, Salka is really what is pure. Salka is not domesticated. So there is a part in us that is not domesticated. When we explore ourselves, the most joyful place is that Salka. That part of us that's not domesticated. That's the place where we don't need a good reason to be happy. We are just enjoying that uniqueness. Even that's a concept, I'm unique person, but you feel that, you feel your presence. And when you feel it, you feel as unique. And you are not thinking that this is other is exactly the same. We are feeling, we are all one, but each ray of the sun is unique. And we experience the beauty of being authentic. Salka is authentic. And Salka is free. So, remembering in this portal day, the 21st of December, the new beginnings, always, solstices, equinoxes, one way or other are portals for the new beginnings. In our tradition, it's all about that. It's all about to remember, to go to our essence, to go our roots, because we have the tendency to be distracted. It could be some aspect, sometimes the health issues, sometimes the politics, sometimes the economy, sometimes different aspects. So we are so distracted in our world, with the way how we try in our minds. It's much easy to be distracted. But if we just connect with the inner self, with the divine self, with this awareness of the light, the children of the sun, we are so grateful to be alive.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful message. I was smiling when you were talking because my new practice for the last few months has been to go downstairs. I built this beautiful house and I'm upstairs. I go downstairs and I go out in the morning when I let the cat out and I have this, oh, I love, like really greeting the sun, like with, three open arms and really, and what you said brought it so much deeper into, that it is me. It's not the sun over there. It's just this light that fills me up as well. Even though I live in Washington and I have those cloudy days, you know that the sun is there.
Yeah,
And so
exactly. Every day.
every day I do that.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So what a wonderful message. And I learned so much, um, just watching you and grow and become more of who you are as a teacher over these years. And really the message that you're bringing forth is so original and so, so uniquely yours. I'm so grateful to have you in my life.
Oh, it's my great joy, to share something from the Andean world, but sometimes not necessarily 100% Aymara or 100% Quechua, because after all, it goes beyond. I mean, uh, in reality, every day we have to experience it.
Hmm.
And sometimes we use words that not necessarily is in the native language, or it's not a specific concept from the Andes, but you start to see that really it's the time when we don't necessarily have to be in one box. It
Hmm.
is really the time when we start to open, and when you open your wings, you don't have to remember that you have to fly only in this space. You
Hmm.
start to see the possibilities are amazing, infinite.
Absolutely. I was interviewing my whistle maker who's, making me this beautiful whistle. And we were talking about how we translated it from Spanish, and we were talking about how, like that I would have gotten connected to the whistle makers in Chile through, through the sun. Let's just say through the sun or the wind, but that the wind doesn't separate and the wind doesn't segregate, and that these indigenous practices, and this is what I always loved about going to Peru, is that they're here for the whole earth to get that wind breath from. They're not like when we shut them down, we shut off the heart of all the people. And I think that is why so much that I relate to and went to Peru so often was because, those teachers, you included, said, no, the sun is for you too. The wind is for you too, Renee. These practices are so that we can live in harmony and that the condor will fly again with the eagle and the heart and the head are going to meet. And here we are, 20 years later, and it's starting to happen.
Yes, beautiful. I'm so grateful what you are sharing with all the circles in the world. So, and the myths, the legends are coming real. The prophecies are coming real. I mean, these are new winds, and
Hmm.
we believe that it is transforming. We call Mama Waira, Mother Wind.
Hmm.
The mother wind is so important in this new cycle for us because she guides us in the mental body, in our dreams, in
Mm.
our thoughts. And it's so important to clarify. How we clarify? Using the light. The
Right.
light is to clarify, clarifying our perception of ourselves.
I love that.
Huge, huh?
Yeah, it's like it sounds so easy, everyone out there, but it is simple, but it's not easy. It's a walk. It's like
Yeah.
walking up Salcantay and really having that experience of that undomesticated energy, you know, battering at your tent flaps. And you don't necessarily have to go to Salcantay to do it, but there is no other way than to take that hike, to take that walk with yourself and really, look at all that what isn't light, and then use the techniques that Jorge Luis has told us to bring back that light, to remember that you are that light, and to, let that light shine bright into the world.
Yes, there is no practice without practice. I mean, there is no tradition without practice. There is not self-realization we have without practice. All has to do with it. I mean, many people think sometimes, I need to have an initiation, or I need to have a certificate that I am a shaman already, or I need this. And in reality, you don't need any. Just walk
Right.
with yourself,
Mm-hmm.
walking, feeding your soul. How you feed the soul? With the refined energies. That makes you strong, so we can face easily the heaviness, the densities of our histories. Because it's all about that. The most important mission we have, to let go the night, to
Mm-hmm.
let go the heavy energies.
Mm-hmm.
As we face it, we really discover that place that's not domesticated. Huh?
Mm-hmm. I love that. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today and taking time and sharing your wisdom and sharing your wisdom. Uh, he has a book, one book, two books now.
Two books. One is Andean Awakening. Second, Inca Wisdom, Return to Joy. And the last one is Machu Picchu, the City of the Children of the Sun.
And he's teaching around the world, so you can look from around the world now. And he's also takes groups in Peru on sacred journeys. And if you're traveling to Peru, just let me put a little plug. He owns many hotels. His family runs them, and they're all beautiful, and they all have this beautiful kaosai, this beautiful energy that goes through them, and refined energies, all of them. And so definitely I'll have his information in with his bio and everything. So look for that. And thank you so much for being here with us. And there's plenty more to come here at the Winter Solstice Gathering. So thank you.
Thank you very much.